One that seems to be ringing even more loud and clear, given what's been going on the last couple months, and even when I wrote it a number, whatever it was, 2016, three years ago or so. But here we go, Voice of Our Generation. Well, I remember running home through the backyard. Yeah, I remember staying up late to play my guitar. Yeah, I remember the way her hair looked in the moonlight. Yeah, I remember what her kiss would feel like. And I grew up best I could, looking for a translation, never getting the jokes or feeling any relation to the voice of our generation, coming through on a hijack station. It's not on the radio or on the TV, it's not in the paper or out in the street. It fills my ears with strange reverberations. It's the voice of our generation. And I remember when they threw it up for sale. Yeah, I remember check arriving in the mail. I'm walking down the street and at the dinner table, there's a tension in the air and the signal's unstable. But it looks me in the eye, I wonder if they are able to hear the voice of our generation coming through on a hijack station. It's not on the radio or on the TV, it's not in the paper or out in the street. It fills my ears with strange reverberations. It's the voice of our generation. So I put my headphones on and close my turn the music up real loud, try to drown out the sound. Oh, whoa. And the voice of our generation coming through on a hijack station. It's not on the radio or on the TV, it's not in the paper or out in the street. It fills my ears with strange reverberations. It's the voice of our generation. It's the voice of our generation. It's the voice of our generation. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I've been wanting to do this next one here on this guitar since the day I got it. So I have not really had a chance to practice this properly because I can't set all this stuff up to make quite the sound. So we're going to just let this happen tonight and hope for the best, okay? I think it's going to be good. called Maybe I Should Do More Drugs. And the funny story about this is that when I wrote this song, I recorded a demo of it on my phone. Actually, this comes from an album that's a self-titled thing I put out about 5 years ago, or getting close to 5 years ago, 4 years ago or so. That started out as all demos that I was just tracking into my phone just to get the idea down. And I grew to really like some of the actual quality of how it sounded, this sort of real lo-fi vibe. And I recorded this song, and of all people that happens to be here tonight, I went over and was hanging out with Jerry, and I had written this, and I think I had it about 2/3 of the way done, and I just played him the demo off my phone. He was like, "Oh, this is a great song," and that was all I needed to hear because I was looking for a little, see if anybody else connected with it. He was the first person that heard it, and that gave me the boost I needed, and I finished it up. And started playing it live pretty quick after that, and it's become one that I know a lot of people really have been pretty into, and it's a lot of fun to play. Well, like I said, I've been curious to see what it sounds like on this thing, so we're gonna find out. Don't worry, I won't tell. If you wanna go and raise some hell, test the water or jump head first in the well. But I ain't paying your bail, so you best keep out of jail. Don't call me if the sirens wail. 'Cause curiosity killed the cat. I don't know about that. Yeah, I think it might have been he let himself get too fat. Pedal to the metal for some takeout with the devil, shaking out the dust in the roads. Maybe I should do more drugs. Dries the bone of its marrow, breaks the spirit in the wings of the sparrow. We all deserve a thrill, so don't be a buzzkill. It ain't hurting no one, let them have their fill. 'Cause curiosity killed the cat. I don't know. Get too fat. Pedal to the devil, shaking out the dust in the roads. Maybe I should do more drugs. All right, thank you. All right. Just feeling good, my friends. I hope you're having a good time out there. Because I am. Gonna go way back for me on this one. This goes all the way back to the beginning. As the story goes, I was at the time living in California. I had gone out there after college, and I was working a job where I didn't belong, and I was just there to try to get out and play music and do what I could in that world in LA. And I had some good friends at my place of employment that rallied hard to keep me around as long as they could because they liked having me there, and it was very kind of them to do that. But ultimately, it got to the point where I was going to get fired, and I knew it, and I knew that I deserved it anyway, and it wasn't where I was supposed to be. So I put in my notice before they could actually drop the axe on me. And at the time, I had read a couple books that were really inspiring for me personally. I know they've been inspiring for a lot of people, but I read them back to back. And the first one was Woody Guthrie's Bound for Glory, which is his autobiography. And then I followed that up with Jack Kerouac's On the Road. And pretty much felt like I could go change the world and do whatever I wanted after that. They were very, very inspiring stories. And I moved back to Chicago after putting in my notice and getting out of that job. And when I moved back to Chicago, which is where I originally lived in that area growing up, I started playing music, and I haven't really looked back ever since. But this song was written on my lunch break when I had about 1 week left or so before leaving Los Angeles. And it's called Let Me Play My Guitar, I Will Not Do You Wrong. Well, I've worked the fields and factories in an office space. Yeah, I've worked the fields and factories in an office space. But not one of them jobs did ever feel like the right place. So let me play my old guitar, sing for you my song. I said, let me play my old guitar, sing for you my song. And I promise you, my friends, that I will not do you wrong. 'Cause I've worked just for money, another man just for money and another man's dream. Well, it done starved my hungry soul till I could no longer scream. So let me play my old guitar, sing for you my song. So let me play my old guitar, sing for you my song. And I promise you, my friends, that I would not do you wrong. People spend their whole lives carrying their heavy load. I said people spend their whole lives carrying their heavy load, seeking a little peace and shelter out along them dusty roads. Sing for you my song. So let me play my old guitar and sing for you my song. I promise you, my friend, that I will not do you wrong. All right, thank you. So I'm going to bounce over here and try to do a couple for you on the piano tonight. It's a record I put out came out in 2014, called Tracks on Fire. And the last song on that record is something called Whiskey Roads. And it was written probably in about 2008, right around when the Great Recession kicked in. And I spent a lot of time in that period playing pretty much every bar that I could play in around Chicago and northern Indiana and that just the greater Chicagoland area. And I spent a particular amount of time in this area just to the east of Gary called Chesterton, which is a lot of really good people that I got to know there, and there were people that were very affected by the economic fallout, and I watched a lot of them battle through that. And one of the shows I was playing around that time, somebody came up to me afterwards and told me they were going to take the Whiskey Roads home, and I'd never heard that reference before. But I immediately thought, that's going to be a song title, but this guy needs to tell me what it means. And he was like, oh, it's like the roads that nobody really knows about. They're not necessarily marked on the map, and the cops don't really patrol them, and you can just kind of make your way. And off you went. But I got up the next day and drove home, and I was like, man, that is such a good title for a song. I hope nobody else has written it. I never could find another song with the title, at least with the search that I did, and I thought, I've got to do this. I've got to use that. So I took the concept and the story he told me and sort of applied it to what I saw people going through around me at the time. And we ended up with this. It's called Whiskey Roads. Well, Shelley, she pours them strong, and this month it's been too long. The plant's cutting jobs down the line, and come Monday it could be yours, it could be mine. So my friend, raise up your glass. May the Lord have mercy on your ass. And the hay bales burn in the wind, are guiding me home once again. And there ain't no patrol through the skull and bones on the whiskey roads. And Joanne was sitting 2 seats down, said she was thinking about leaving town, and rolled me away. Came on the jukebox, and I ordered another on the rocks. I said, Joanne, do you want to dance? Or again, we may never have this chance. And the hay bales burn in the wind, guiding me home once again. And there ain't no patrol through the skull and bones on the whiskey road. It's just dirt beneath my wheels as I'm hauling through these fields, following the firelight. Oh, please lead me home safe tonight. skull and bones. Oh, there ain't no patrol through the skull and bones on the whiskey road. All right, thank you very much, guys. That's Whiskey Roads. So I'm gonna go into the next album after Tracks on Fire. There's another one that's, when I get the chance to play piano, I like to bring this one out, and I think it also sort of speaks to maybe where some people are right now, and it's a song called Miss America. She was sitting on the corner, polish scratched off her nails, a blue ribbon up for sale, with a sign saying, "Can you help me? I'm a long way from home. Hungry and alone." And she just drew up her knees and started rocking in the breeze, the rhythm of a rattling cup. And I wanted to say, but I did not know the way. Miss America, where the sun is coming up, and the heels on her shoes were broken, the dirt was in her hair, and folks tried not to stare. And so I bought her a cup of coffee and a bar of soap. I hope she don't lose hope. And she just drew up her knees and started rocking in the breeze to the rhythm of a rattling cup. Now I wanted to say, but I did not know the way. Miss America, where the sun is coming up. but I did not know the way. Miss America, the sun is coming up. Miss America, the sun is coming up. Okay, thank you very much. So a reminder for those who've been watching and for anybody who maybe tuned in since I started, if you want to grab any of my music, the number one best way to do it right now is to go to my website, DANTEDESCO.com, and grab the discography download that I've put together. It's everything I've officially released. Again, something like 80 to 85 songs altogether. And it's available for whatever price you are able to or would like to pay for it. I think it has to be at least $1. But seriously, if you want to, whatever you're comfortable with, it does not matter to me. More than anything, I want you guys to have the music, and of course, if the support goes without saying, but it's tremendously appreciated. So that is there for you. So I played a song earlier called "Voice of Our Generation," and talked about how it was written a few years ago, but it seems to have even found another new life of sorts with what's going on right now, and just all of the isolation that we've been in, and what that's done to us socially and maybe physically and psychologically. This is another one. Kind of comes from that same angle, and it's a song from a number of years back, but it's sort of right on the mark for the moment. So I've been playing this quite a bit as of late. Done this a few times on my live streams at home. I'll do it for you now. It's called "Closing for the Season." Oh, mama, can you hear my cry? You know I'm too young to die, and the spark's still in my eye. But something's coming down on me, like the doors of that factory, the first leaf falling from the tree. And the boss called us for a meeting, promising the reason, closing for the season. And I remember that parking lot never had an empty spot. Now it's just going to rot. And they'll be down there at the bar tonight for a drink or for a fight. Tell me, brother, do you got a light? We're all slowly freezing. Will the thaw relieve? I'm closing for the season. haunted by a distant whistle whine, tales from my father's time, of when a man could earn his keep, when a man could earn his sleep. Now we're just counting sheep, we're trying to believe a thaw will relieve them, closing for the season. I'm trying to believe a thaw will relieve them, closing for the season. Thanks. If memory serves me well, at the top of the show when Jerry was introducing me, he mentioned when we met, which was like five years ago or so, maybe even 6 years ago, at this open mic that used to go on at the Gas Lamp that he used to host with a buddy of ours. And I think I had just moved to town a few months before, and I played this song, if I remember. I'm pretty sure this was the one. It was a title track of the album that Closing for the Season. The song I just played was on. And we do a couple of these, a couple off this for you now. It's called Death in the Valley. Now this record kind of on the whole was written in response to everything that happened in late 2008 through 2009 and into 2010 with the Great Recession, and watching how it was handled and what people went through. I think if you're a creative person and something like that happens, you really can't help but respond to it with whatever medium you work in. So I put this album together, and again, sort of like Closing for the Season, there's a lot of tones in the story of those songs that are super relevant to right now in a lot of ways. So do this one for it. It's called Death in the Valley. Now the fields have been scorched, and the forests have been torched, and the screams from companions, well, they drift through the canyons beneath the evening sun. They're loading their guns, and they're taking their aim, but they ain't taking no blame for this death in the valley. The death in the valley. And the blood and the bones spark the rally against this death in the valley. The folks left stranded in the heat, the bodies scattered down the street. In this prison of dust, the working man's hands gonna rust. Way up high on the hill, they joke about the kill, drinking whiskey and wine in the pale moonshine above this death in the valley. Death in the valley. Can the blood and the bones spark the rally against this death in the valley? 'Cause every year the valley grows deeper, the hillside grows steeper, the winds they blow stronger, the shadows grow longer. We will grow older, or will we grow colder? Or can we grow wiser? Or can we grow kinder instead of harder? And instead of farther, or farther, or farther, farther, farther on into this death in the valley. Death in the valley. Can the blood and the bones spark the rally against this death in the valley? All right, thanks. So amidst all of this that I've been singing about tonight, a lot of songs about a lot of struggles. There's one thing that I like to think pulls you through all that, and that is that's friendship and companionship, which has been in an interesting, kind of held in an interesting balance these days. You know, fortunately, we've got things in our world today like FaceTime and video calls where you can talk to people and actually see them. That was like some serious sci-fi stuff when I was a kid that we used to like make bets on and wonder about if that would ever exist and how crazy it would be to do that, and here we are. And it's something that I think has definitely made the experience of these last month and a half or 2 months a little bit more bearable. But I know a lot of people are having a hard time not being able to see family members and get close to their kids or their grandkids and so on. Hopefully sooner than later that'll become a little bit more of an option. But until then, we have this. It's called Favorite of All Time. You could be the rhythm, you could be the rhythm to my rhyme. You could be my favorite, you could be my favorite of all time. You could be the tugging, you could be the tugging on my line. You could be my favorite, you could be my favorite of all time. I saw your face, my heartbeat began to race, and all the things I could be the partner in my crime. You could be my favorite. You could be my favorite of all time. And I've seen that pain in your smile, and I feel the same. So baby, maybe we could settle down, live in peace. Smile and I feel the same. So baby, maybe we could settle down, live in peace. You could be the rhythm, you could be the rhythm to my rhyme. You could be my favorite, you could be my favorite of all time. All right, favorite of all time. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to this album, American Darkness, for a couple more songs here, and. Want to mention to you, if you are a fan of vinyl, I do have this particular record available on vinyl, and I can ship those out pretty quickly. So if you are interested in that at all, go over to DANTEDESCO.com and place your order. I'll get it out to you as quick as I can. And this particular song I'm going to do off there is something that it's kind of a crazy story. It was a song I wrote in my sleep, which has only happened this one time, as far as I can remember at least. And I woke up one morning and I had pretty much all the lyrics written and the melody and the chords sort of, at least in a general sort of state in my brain. And I sat down and got it all kind of out in front of me. And that was pretty much it. And it all fell together really organically. And I sat on this one for a long time. People who knew of the song would always ask me when a new album was coming out if this was going to be on it, and it took me quite a while to finally find a place where it felt right. We made it onto American Darkness, and the guy in this song is an interesting character. It's built off of the type of person who refuses to change with the times and refuses to move forward with things or allow the world right around them to change or push them to where they don't want to go. And there's a part of me that is, what's the right way of saying it? Doesn't totally understand that, but there's a part of it that I can really, really relate to, and I think there's actually something almost admirable about people who are just that confident and happy with where they are and have their way of doing something that works for them and makes them happy. Can't really argue with that. This guy's got his heels dug in. It's called Banks of the Mississippi. I've been kicking round the town of Moline on my own since age of 15. I had a family, but they don't miss me. Left me on the banks of the Mississippi. burning oil stings my nose. Dirt don't come out of my clothes. I had a job, but it done kicked me. Left me on the banks of the Mississippi. And the muddy water just flowing by down the Illinois borderline. Nights are cool and days are misty on the banks of the Mississippi. The heavenly skies pour down, flood waters beat up my hometown. I had a life, but it done stripped me, left me on the banks of the Mississippi. The mean old catfish wank and smile, roll on your line, tease you wild. I had a dream, but it done slipped me, left me on the banks of the Mississippi. And the muddy water just flowing by down the Illinois borderline. Nights are cool and days are misty on the banks of the Mississippi. And the big city's flats scare me cold. I swear this river's hide and gold. Come around here in 40 or 50, find me on the banks of the Mississippi. Muddy water just flowing by down the Illinois borderline. Nights are cool and days are misty on the banks of the Mississippi. Nights are cool and days are misty on the banks of the Mississippi. Thanks very much. So just about a year and a half ago, I had a chance to go do like a in-store performance that they videoed and put some really nice sound together for it at this guitar store in Chicago called the Chicago Music Exchange. And I walked in that day and I was going to use the guitar that I've been playing mostly tonight. But they were like, hey, you know, if you want to walk around the store, you can grab something else maybe you want to use. Just take a look around, see if there's something. And I started thinking, you know, a 12-string would be really cool. I don't get to play those very often. I'd love to have one someday. And I played this song, and it turned out, I think, really well, and I really loved the way it sounded on this instrument. And I've always wanted to have one, but that definitely pushed me even further into that territory. So it's great to have this thing, and I'm going to play it for you tonight on here. This is also from American Darkness, and it's called "The Wolves Are Running Wild Tonight." The seasons slowly change with the cycle of storms. As the water rises and the winters grow warm, and the guards keeping watch fumble with their flashlights as the wolves are running wild tonight. The primal taste of blood and victory's high leaves little mystery as 2 reasons why. The windows and the mirrors show a sickening sight. The wolves are running wild tonight. Can you see the vultures picking at the bones of a bloated culture rotting by the side of the road? The dirty yellow moon splits the day and the night as the shelter at the crossroads flashes its light. They'll bail out their friends just like all of them do, and hide underneath the trapdoor painted red, white, and blue. And some will move away, some are ready for a fight. The wolves are running wild tonight. And my wife's in the bedroom crying in the dark, and the future's in her belly with a beating heart. I'm on the porch waiting for the morning sun, wondering how many people went and bought their first gun. The sound of branches breaking makes it so hard to sleep. And huddled in the meadow rests a large flock of sheep. But this late in the season brings a wicked appetite, and the wolves are running wild tonight. The wolves are running wild tonight. The wolves are running wild tonight. All right, thanks. This is something I wrote one day, kind of a stream of conscious experience. I wrote it really quickly just as things were kind of flying out of my brain. And I think it's sort of a meditation of sorts on the idea of happiness and what that really means. And it's when I put this together, it was one of the few times, maybe really the only time I can think of, where I wrote something that I couldn't actually play right away. Because the lyrics and the words were something that came off real fast and has this kind of frantic guitar part, and I found that if I missed like a syllable, it was just over. Everything just fell apart. It took me a number of days to finally actually be able to just get through the thing. And the version I originally released was like the first take I ever got recorded of me actually just getting through it. Which, if you listen, you can feel that the train almost goes off the tracks in a few spots. But it also adds to the sort of the tension, I guess, in the character of the song. The conflict. There's something called Mad Cow. Where you can cry and whine, you can piss and moan, you can take out another high percentage loan. You can sleep too late and develop a slouch. You can take off your belt and let it hang out. You can have too much and never enough. You can buy a big house and fill it with stuff. You can burn the gas, you can dry the well. You can grow old with no stories to tell. And the choice is yours and yours alone. Be happy or sad, 'cause out in the field the cows have gone mad. You can go on a diet and back off again. You can justify it to your invisible friend. You can pay for magic, you can study the book. You can bite the bait and let them set the hook. You can change your hair, you can idolize. You can spend your paycheck on a bad disguise. You can curse the world and the shape you're in. You can cheat the clock, but gravity will win. And the choice is yours and yours alone. To be happy or sad, 'cause out in the field the cows have gone mad. And you can pray to God, you can dress in cloaks, you can join the choir and dismiss the hoax. You can ask for Satan, you can get on the way, run for days on the way. The choice is yours and yours alone. To be happy or sad, 'cause out in the field the cows have gone mad. And the choice is yours and yours alone. To be happy or sad, 'cause out in the field the cows have gone mad. All right. So this asks a very simple question with a very difficult answer. Something called Why the Seeds Won't Grow. Well, they had their names chosen this day last year, but at night they lay frozen between hope and fear. The doctor just sighs, she gets that look in her eyes, and he gets hollow. Well, Mama, can you tell me why the seeds won't grow? Willie tried to sober up, tried to get control. All the while growing up, he watched his daddy roll. The trooper just sighs, the lights flash in his eyes, alongside the road. Oh, Mama, can you tell me why the seeds won't grow? He was a God-serving man most all of his life, till a drunk Willie swerved and T-boned his wife. The preacher just sighs, he don't look in his eyes, says only God could know. Well, Mama, can you tell me why the seeds won't grow, why the rain won't fall and the river won't flow, the sun won't shine and the wind won't blow? Well, Mama, can you tell me why the seeds won't grow? Yeah, Mama, can you tell me why the seeds won't grow? Yeah, Mama, can you tell me why the seeds won't grow? Thank you. Another one for finding somebody to help pull you through. It's called Looking for a Girl Like You. Well, the work whistle whines, and our place comes alive. Seeing you playing the silver stripe, tell me, would you be my moonshine Valentine? 'Cause I've been looking for a girl like you, been looking for a girl like you, been crawling through the crowds, pounding on the clouds, looking for a girl like you. And the Saturday night, idling at the light, I've seen your spotlights at night, smiling neon bright. I was feeling alright, 'cause I've been looking for a girl like you. I've been looking for a girl like you. I've been crawling through the crowds, pounding tenders. The bartender's giving me tenure. Well, maybe you could, maybe you should offer me your sweet surrender. Just looking for a girl like you. All right, thanks. Go for one more here on the little keyboard. So that song, Looking for a Girl Like You, comes off of a record called Tracks on Fire, which I think I mentioned earlier. And I don't get to do this on piano very often, but this song on the record is a lot heavier and has a much different energy to it, but I really like doing it like this when I get the chance. So, it's the title track of that album. And the Tracks on Fire comes from this crazy thing that I saw many years ago in Chicago, riding on the commuter train, the Metro, out from the city on a super cold night in January. And they actually, like, I looked at the window and I saw the tracks actually on fire, burning in the darkness. These flames all over. And I thought, you know, something was wrong. We were going to die or something. It was really quite terrifying. What I learned later what that was is they actually put this gel and they light the tracks on fire where they switch so they don't freeze in the cold. But still, if you don't know what that is and you look out into the darkness and you just see fire, it's absolutely terrifying. But that image and what the phrase tracks on fire and that image in my brain hit me, and I just thought, man, this could be a cool, this could be something. So when you write songs, at least from my take on it, I'm always hyper aware of phrases and names and different things coming at me, because more often than not, in my world, for a song to get started, it usually starts with something like a really good title. So I'm just always have what do we want to say, the antennas up to capture something like that and grab it when it comes by. So that was one of those moments, and kind of like with Whiskey Roads, it just hit me right in the face, like, man, this has got to be a song. It's just a great title. And it turned into not just a song, but an entire record. So here we go. This is Tracks on Fire. Oh, I saw my mama smile as I lay there on the tile, studying the bleeding, focused on my breathing. Left home around sunset, while my blood was still wet. Heard the dying horse whining, heard the dying horse whining, and saw them tracks on fire, them tracks on fire. Get dispatch on the wire, I seen them tracks on fire. Hey, in an empty train station, 2 a.m. desolation, with diesel dogs howling over frozen fields prowling, and the dark forests lurking where the ice moons are working into my shoulder, into my shoulders, along them tracks on fire, them tracks on fire. Get dispatch on the wire, I seen them tracks on fire. Hey, 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 hey. And I'm rolling past the grandstand on my way to Graceland. Bandanas round my wrist, sitting next to a pretty miss. The valley was a deep green, most beautiful I ever seen. Hear the choir singing, I can hear the drums ringing, I can hear the choir singing, I can hear the drums ringing, I can hear the choir singing, I can hear the drums ringing, I can hear the choir singing, I can hear the drums ringing, along them tracks on fire, them tracks on fire. Yeah, I find my desire down them tracks on fire, them tracks on fire, them tracks on fire. Yeah, I find my desire down them tracks on fire. Hey, 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 hey. All right, thank you. This could be the same guy in that last song, The Morning After. Lighten up my load. I'm gonna head down that road. I sleep when I'm dead, so quiet the cello, 'cause I didn't come here to get mellow. And I'm gonna open up the throttle. Yeah, I'm gonna drink straight from the bottle. Sleep when I'm dead, so quiet the cello, 'cause I didn't come here to get mellow. Back growing up, when I was just a kid, listening to them stories the older kids live. The stories turn to legends, and those people turn to ghosts. Riding shotgun with you now, I'd count the mileposts. And I wanna open up my eyes. I wanna open up my arms. I wanna open up my mind. I wanna open up my arm. I wanna let it all steep into my bones. Wanna carve my name deep into that rolling stone. And I got the sunshine shining on my face. I got this dream now, this dream to chase. I sleep when I'm dead, so quiet the cello, 'cause I didn't come here to get mellow. Oh, I didn't come here I didn't come here. 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 I didn't come here to get mellow. All right, something called I Didn't Come Here to Get Mellow. And in keeping with that theme, bear with me here for a second. I released a single just about a month ago, towards the beginning of April, which was a super, super old thing that I wrote when I was first starting out with guitar. I've been playing for a couple of years, and I was learning a bunch of Led Zeppelin. And I wrote this thing, or wrote a piece of it, and it kind of grew over the years. But I used to play it live all the time back when I was first starting to play out as a singer-songwriter and doing open mics and things like that. And I finally got around to sitting down and recording it properly at home. And I, like I said, I released it about a month ago. And it's called 2444. Had a whole different name for it, all planned, right up until literally like the week before I was going to release it. And I got the tracks back from mastering the final audio, and I sent it around to some of my friends. And when you get tracks back from people working on it like that, they give you all these different files with different format names and numbers. And I sent the Dropbox folder off to my buddies, and I was like, hey, just listen to the 2444 one. And it has to do with the audio labeling. And everybody wrote back calling it that instead of what it was actually called. And I was like, wait a second, I actually really like, there's something about the sound of those numbers and just the fact that it's a number and the way this music sounds, it actually was like the perfect fit. So I changed the name right at the very last minute and then put it out. So I'm going to do it for you now. I think I got time for like 2 more. So I'm going to do this, and then we'll close it out with another one. All right, thank you. So guys, this is going to be my last one. Thank you so much to DSM TV Live for the invite. It's been a really nice experience to get back with some actual sound and under the lights and get to really get that feeling again. Hope you guys have enjoyed this out there listening and watching. Thanks so much for tuning in and taking some time to do so. Once again, check out DanTedesco.com to grab my music. And hopefully I'll see you out there in the world again sooner than later. I'll leave you with this one tonight. This is something called The Outlier. I've played this song a lot of different ways. And a few weeks ago on one of these live streams at home, I did a version of it that I really liked. And I thought I'd close out with it tonight. So here we go. Always been an outlier, a pretty kind of misfire, being inside it. I never was a good liar. Some things you can rewire, so I found my own desire. Hear the auto-tune choir, don't it make you so tired? I've always been an outlier, a pretty kind of misfire, just in the mainstream. And kids, you know, can be so mean. Some things you can't rewire, so I found my own desire. Hear the auto-tune choir, don't it make you so tired? I'll always be an outlier. I've always been an outlier, a pretty kind of misfire, just a step behind the times, out of rhythm, out of rhyme. Some things you can't rewire, so I found my own desire. Hear the auto-tune choir, don't it make you so tired? I'll always be an outlier. I'll always be an outlier. I'll always be an outlier. Thank you guys so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, clap your hands home immediately for Dan Tedesco right now. Do it right now. One more time from all of us here at DSM TV Live. We can't thank you enough in joining us for this mission. One more time, also, remember we are viewer supported. So if you enjoyed this show and you want to help us continue bringing more shows like this to your living rooms and your tablets and your phones and your giant televisions, please make a contribution to Dan's Venmo here in the bottom left hand of your screen. We've got tomorrow off. Luckily, we've got to do some administration stuff. But then we're back on Saturday with the Des Moines Downtown Farmers Market virtual meetup. So get your cocktails ready, get your Bloody Marys ready to find out about vendors and how to still connect with that community of producers to still get all of your delicious goods that you would normally get from the farmers market. That is at 8 o'clock a.m. until 9 o'clock a.m. here with your host Kelly Foss, and even a few appearances by me and Tony Bonenkamp as well. One more time, we cannot thank you enough for joining us here at DSM TV Live, and we'll see you on Saturday morning.
And I believe I paid some dues, oh, but it's been a good year for the blues. Hold on, hold on for dear life. I'm a trying man. Friends can't be replaced. I lost a lot of teardrops rolling down my face. It's been a bad year, baby, and I believe I paid some dues. Oh yes, it's true. It's been a good year for the blues. Been a good year for the blues.